in the figure below, ENF is 30 centimeters. So ENF over here is 30 centimeters. I'm going to draw an arrow, okay, to just say this is 34, not 30, 30, 34 centimeters, okay, in this case over here. So I'm just going to draw this, then I'm going to draw a line to this lah, right? Oops, don't draw an arrow, draw a line that says ENF over here, even though it's not very straight, okay, something like this, all right, and then over here as well, yeah, okay, so 34. Find the area of the shaded part in this case over here. All right, so what we know is that in this E and F, right, E is an equal parts, F, a line over here, is also equal parts, right? So in this case, we kind of know that this whole, what do you call this whole triangle it has been equally split into half because of this line over here. Okay, so then how do we get this shaded area? Basically, what we need to do is we need to get this triangle plus this triangle minus this whole thing over here. Okay, all right, so what we need to do is we need to, or actually we can get this triangle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw out using the line again. So I'm going to have a line that is solid. Okay, so basically this whole triangle, right? So I'm going to draw this triangle over here. So we actually can get this triangle. Okay, so this is 18 centimeters. So we just need to get this length over here. So we need to get this length, right? Which is, let me get the line as well in this case, right? So we need to get this. This is not 34 centimeter. We need to get this centimeter, okay, for this line. Okay, so if we can get this, we can get the base, and then we also can get, in this case, the height, which is 34 centimeter divided by 2, right? So in this case, if I were to group this up, right, this is the same as this over here, right? Okay, so in essence, we can get the area of this, right? So basically, let's get, if you want to get a shaded part, is equal to the shaded, let's say half of the shaded part, because I want to focus on the half, is equal to basically the half of the big triangle minus, what is this called? The red triangle. Okay, that's it. Okay, if you know that, then great. Okay, so let's get the half big triangle. So the red triangle, I'm going to put a line to indicate this is red triangle. Okay, without the dot. Okay, so first in this case, so let's get the big triangle is equal to, so we have the half base times height times base times height. So in this case, pretty straightforward. We know the base is 54 and the height is 84. So we just half times 50, the base is 54 and then the height is 84. Okay, so we use the calculator, right? So we have half times, or we just say 54 multiplied by 82. Okay, and then this is the answer. Then we just say divide by 2, right? And this will give you 2214, 2214 centimeter and then square. Okay, so now we want to get the half big triangle. Okay, and this is basically 2214. Okay, basically you just times half lah, right? So half times 2214, we use our calculator again, divided by 2, essentially it will be 1107 centimeters square in this case over here. All right, so this is half the big triangle. All right, so now we know half of the big triangle. The next thing we want to get is the red triangle. So red triangle height is basically, as you can see, is 34 centimeters. So it's basically half of 34, okay, right? Or 34 divided by 2 basically. 34, then divide by 2. This will give 17 centimeters. All right, so what about the base? Okay, so the base over here, we know that this is 18 centimeters. If you really can't see what's the name here, so I'm just gonna put yellow, 18 centimeters. Okay, so it's easier to see. Okay, so this 18 centimeter, I'll just put the arrow as well as this, because really cannot see. Okay, right, so this whole thing is 18 centimeter. So what you can do is to get the what do you call this? The base. So read triangle base is basically 84 minus, and then we know there's 18 centimeter, right? It's equal to, I think this is 66, right? So let's double confirm. 84 minus 18 is equal to 66. Okay, 66 centimeter. So now we know that the red triangle over here, triangle area is equal. So this should be the area. Okay, half base times height. Half. So let me just make this a little bit easier to see. Okay, right. So red triangle area is half base times height. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this. Okay, and what's the base? In this case, the base is 66 and the height is 17, right? So half times 66. Okay, let's use the calculator. 66, all right, multiply by 17, multiply by half is 0.5. Okay, this will give us 561. So now for the half shaded part, so half shaded part, we can just swap in. That's what you see over here. So half shaded part, okay, is equal to half big triangle minus red triangle. Okay, we're just going to repeat this so it's easier to understand why we are doing this. Okay, half big triangle minus red triangle. So half big triangle is equal to 1107 minus 561. So, and the answer to this is 1107 minus 561, 546. 6 for half of the shaded part. Shaded part, half of the shaded part. Yeah, centimeter, then square in this case. Right, so now we want to get the full one. So shaded part, oops, right, is equal to, so shaded or full shaded part is we just need to multiply this by 2. Okay, which is equal to 546 multiplied by 2, 1092, right? So 1092. So times 2, 1092. Okay, right, centimeter and then square. Okay, there you go. So that's the answer. So we're going to write 1902 centimeters square in this case over here.